Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th, the day of love, and what better to do than to talk about my favorite romance books. I have my little stack here. I think this is a common thing that I say throughout my videos is that I use romance as a palate cleanser. I love a good romance. When I finish a fantasy series or just like any very taxing book, I love to pick up a romance next. So I have a relatively big collection of what I've read, but there's only a few that I really just think are absolutely amazing. So let's just jump right into it and talk about them. And I'm sure I've mentioned a few of these before because they don't change that often. I just really love the romance books that I've read. So to start off, this is actually a newer one that I've read. Not new, but new to me. And this is Heartstoppers. So this is a graphic novel. This is Heartstoppers by Alice Oseman. This is so cute. I loved these. So I'm a fake fan. I've only read the first and the second volume. I have the third, and I really want to read it, and I plan on doing it soon. But it's like a thing where I sit down and I just read the whole thing in one sitting, because I'm not going to keep going back and forth for it. But this is about a boy who is gay, and he befriends another boy, and they essentially fall in love. And the other boy, I would say the first, honestly just the first one and two, he's struggling with his sexual identity, and he doesn't know if he's gay, is he bisexual. So it is really nice to see someone who is out and already accepted all of that, and he finds someone and helps him through the process of figuring out what is going on with him. So I think that it's so cute and it's very lighthearted. I read the first one and then I put it down. I opened Netflix and I binged the whole entire season in one day because I thought it was amazing. And it was so cute. It's a good adaptation. I'm pretty sure the first one, so don't do what I did. The first season of Heartstoppers on Netflix covers the first and the second book. I think that's all it does. I'm pretty sure. So it covers the first and the second volume. So I definitely was spoiled for the second volume. I already knew pretty much everything that happened. But that doesn't stop it from being any good or anything like that. I still loved it. So that's my opinion on Heartstoppers. So cute, easy read, and there's a lot of really diverse characters, and I just love them. They're so cute. Moving on. My next favorite romance book is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. And this is probably the only one in here. Maybe not the only one, but this has the heaviest content, in my opinion. There's a couple more that I have that are a little bit heavy too, but this one, in my opinion, was the heaviest for me to read. So this is about two people struggling with mental health issues, and they come together, they meet each other, and they start kind of going out. But it's not we have mental health issues, we meet each other, and we're cured and we're better. It's they're together, but they're still struggling. They still have their mental health issues. It's not changing. If anything, I feel they get worse. I don't know if that's a common thing, common opinion, but they did actually just redo this book. So I bought this book and then they took it out of print and then they reprinted it in a different cover. I don't like the new cover, in my opinion. I think this one is so beautiful and simple and just encompasses the story. And the new cover is blue and it has big bumblebees on it. So this has the honeycombs on the edges. The one guy is very obsessed with bees, and not bees, but kind of bees. It's hard to explain. But I think the little subtleness is cute. It's a little aggressive in the new edition, but very good. I really enjoyed it. And honestly, I couldn't even tell you if they were still together at the end. I don't know. I can't remember. Not that I can't remember, it's just I feel up to interpretation. You don't really, it's very open-ended at the end, in my opinion. It doesn't close or anything like that. moving on. The next book is Love at First Spite by Anna E. Collins. This book is just really cute and lighthearted, and it is about a girl whose fiance, cheats on her, and they break up, essentially. So they break up, and he is still living in the house that they bought together, that they were going to live in together, and he moves in, like, his new girlfriend, which is the woman that he cheated on her with, so it's all very crazy, and the house next door becomes for sale, and she comes up with the idea to buy it and turn it into a spite house. So, Love at First Spite. They are turning it into a spiteful Airbnb. The concept of it is just really cute. Like, I loved the characters, I loved the story that it went through, and it's like, I'm so bad with tropes and like what they're called, but she is just like going through it, but she's like a happier character. Like, she's not like, you know, like this, she's not miserable or anything like that. I mean, as miserable as you can be after your fiance cheats on you, but then there is the very grumpy contractor who is the guy she's working with to design the house and get it up and ready to be an Airbnb. So it's very cute. It's obviously, you know how that goes. They're co-workers, and he was like the scary, intimidating co-worker that no one liked. And she is I think she's an interior designer, and he's like the architect. So that's how that goes. It's very cute. I recommend. The next three are like the most generic favorite romance books in my opinion, but I love them, and they're generic for a reason, because you just gotta sneak. Everyone loves them. Well, not everyone, but you know what I mean. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood is my next one, and most people have heard of this book. They've heard of Ali Hazelwood. Her work is really adorable. I don't know, like, all of her books are STEM based. I don't know if she's in the STEM field. I never really read like the descriptions of the authors at the end, but all of her books are like STEM based. So this one is about a grad student who is fake dating I think he's like a doctorate student or something like that. He's a PhD student, and she's a grad student, or a master's student, something like that. Besides the point, he is the degree above her. I just like rambled about trying to figure out which degree they have when it's really not that important. But he is like the whatever degree above her, and they are fake dating accidentally, and we all know how fake dating goes. So that's the gist. So cute, and she is like the lovey golden retriever, and the guy is like the grumpy, dark hair, like unhappy person. So it's very nice, and I love it. The next one is honestly like the same thing, but different. So this is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is a romance writing goddess. Her books are phenomenal. I love them all. And I think it's a close tie. Beach Reads and Book Lovers, I really love them both, but I would say that this one might be my top. So it is about a girl who is staying at, I don't know if it's like a summer house almost, and her father had just passed away, so she's packing up the house and she's gonna sell it. But they are both authors, and she is writing a novel, even though she has some like pretty bad writer's block. And the boy is also a famous author, and he has the house next door. So she realizes who lives next door, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's like the worst, not the worst author ever, but the meanest author ever, and they went to college together, and she didn't like him. So they team up to help each other get past their writer's block and be able to write something. So it is very nice. She writes like lovey romance. It's not romance, it's women's fiction is, I'm pretty sure, the genre that she writes. And he writes like these contemporary, just like dark fiction books. but he is, I think, more well-known than she is. And they work together to cure their writer's block. It's very cute. I love the setting too. And it's nice that it's not just them. Like, they both have individual things going on in their lives as well. So you get to see a little bit of that too. And obviously, the next one has to be Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry. And this is about, honestly, the same thing, but different setting. So this is about two people who work at a publishing company. The guy is an editor and the girl is a publisher. They are in this, like, the girl is vacationing with her sister to this small town, and he also lives in this small town. So they are interacting with each other. They don't like each other, or at least she doesn't like him, and you know how that always goes. Enemies to lovers, you know, yeah, they fall in love. End of the story. You don't have to read it. I just don't. I think that's obvious that in all of these books there are love interests. And then the next one I have, so the next two actually, I'm gonna call them, what am I gonna call them? I'm gonna call them romance books that are so traumatic while I was reading them that I couldn't stop reading them because I trauma bonded with the book. That's the genre of the next two. So the first one is, what is the first book called? Okay, so it's The Confidence of Wildflowers by, I'm so sorry, Michaela Smeltzer. I could be butchering her name. But this story is about this girl, and she's young. Well, I mean, she's not young. I think she's like, I don't even know if she's in, she just graduated high school, I'm pretty sure. So she is an adult, kind of. And new neighbor moves in, who is a grown man with a child, and he's smoking hot and grumpy and mean, and she goes over there and, like, helps him out. And then she becomes the nanny for the kid, and we know how this is gonna go. The older man and the young girl fall in love, so if that's something you don't like, she's definitely younger, and I will say there's also, like, traumatic things happening to children, and it is all around just a very traumatic, upsetting book to read, but I still read the second one. I think after, I don't know what it is with these ones, they just draw you in so much, and then you're like, what did I just read? Why did I process all of that horrible trauma that happened to these people that I don't even know? And that's how these ones pretty much go. I am trying to find the author of the next one, which is, oh, here we go, the Ravenhood series. I think this was popular for, like, a hot second too. This one is longer. So the other one only has 2 books. This one is much longer. It's like, what is it, like 3-4 books or something like that. And it is about a girl who is visiting her dad and living with him for the summer, and she meets these group of people who are pretty much in a gang. And so it's like mafia romance, gang romance. I'm not really well versed in that form of tropes for the romance section. I don't tend to read a whole ton of the really intense, traumatic romances. This one has a lot of, like, there's dying in it, and honestly, the guys just kind of treat her horribly. And I think she dates, like, multiple of the gang members, and some of them at the same time. It's very confusing, but I read all of them. I read every single one, and I enjoyed them. Did I even say who it's by? I looked for who it's by, and I don't even think I said. It's by Kate Stewart. And Kate What is this? I just need to know. And why was it so addicting and good to read, even though it's terrifying to read all these horrible things that are happening to this poor young girl? Yeah, I'm gonna end it on that one. That is the last favorite romance that I have. At the beginning, we did really well. We had some really good happy-go-lucky ones, and then the end, we kind of got a little dark and scary down there. But I recommend them all. The last two, and even Alone with You in the Ether, I would suggest looking into trigger warnings or anything of that sort, because there is a lot of complex trauma and bad things that happen in all three of those books. So make sure to look into that if you'd like to read these. Every one of these books I love, though. I would read them again, and the Ravenhood series, I've had to stop myself multiple times to reread it because I don't want to experience that trauma again. But happy Valentine's Day! The last couple probably not the best to read on Valentine's Day, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite romance book is, because I'm always looking for new ones. I don't really see recommendations from other people that often, so I would love to hear your opinions. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!